You ever look at something like the Pantheon or an ancient Roman aqueduct and just wonder, how is that still standing? Well, it turns out they were hiding an incredible secret in their building materials, a secret so advanced that, honestly, we're only just now rediscovering it. So let's dive in and uncover the lost formula for Roman concrete.
Right, so it all kicks off with this puzzle that has basically stumped engineers for centuries. We're talking about ancient Roman harbors, massive seawalls, huge buildings that have survived for millennia, and often in some really harsh conditions. How on earth did they do it? And this is where it gets really wild. We have actual Roman structures that have been sitting in corrosive, damaging seawater for thousands of years, and they are somehow stronger today than the day they were first built. I mean, that just shouldn't be possible. It completely defies our modern understanding of how concrete is supposed to work.
Just let that number sink in for a second. 2,000 years today, we build bridges and skyscrapers with an expected lifespan of what, maybe 50 to 100 years if we're lucky? The Romans, though, they were apparently building for eternity.
So that's the big question we're trying to answer here. How did they pull this off? Was it just some kind of lucky accident? A secret ingredient they stumbled upon? Or did the Romans understand material science on a level that we somehow lost and are only now starting to appreciate again?
Now, to really get why this Roman stuff is so incredible, let's take a quick look at the material we use to build, well, pretty much our entire modern world: Portland cement concrete.
Our concrete is strong for sure, but it's also pretty brittle. It cracks, and when water gets inside those cracks, especially salt water, it rusts out the steel rebar holding it all together, and the whole thing just starts to crumble from the inside out. It's this constant, losing battle against the elements.
And when you put them side by side, the difference is just staggering. Roman concrete didn't just put up with harsh environments, it seemed to actively thrive in them. Seawater, which is like the #1 enemy of modern concrete, actually made the Roman stuff stronger over time. This wasn't just good construction, it was a technological masterpiece.
So what was the big secret? What was in this stuff? Well, the answer sounds like something straight out of science fiction. It turns out the Romans had invented a material that could actually heal itself.
Yep, you heard that right. When Roman concrete would get a tiny crack, it had this incredible built-in ability to just patch itself up. It stopped tiny problems from becoming huge ones that would destroy the whole structure.
The process is just brilliant, so a tiny fracture forms and water gets in. But instead of causing damage, that water hits these special, unmixed chunks of lime. Scientists call them lime clasts that the Romans intentionally left in their mix. That water triggers a chemical reaction, creating new crystals that grow and fill the crack, literally healing the concrete from within.
For hundreds of years, we knew this Roman concrete was special, but the exact how was completely lost to time. That is, until some seriously cutting-edge technology finally let us peek deep inside this ancient material and figure out its secrets.
You know, for the longest time, researchers thought the secret was just volcanic ash. But the real aha moment came when they realized it wasn't just one ingredient. It was the whole recipe, and crucially, the way they mixed it at super high temperatures that made all the difference.
Using AI and some really advanced imaging, scientists could finally see the concrete's exact chemical makeup, right down to the microscopic level. This let them spot those little lime clasts and confirm, yep, that's it. That's the self-healing mechanism. It was final proof that this lost formula really was the peak of ancient technology.
So this is way more than just a cool history lesson. This discovery is basically a roadmap for completely revolutionizing how we build our own world, right now.
What we're doing is literally reverse engineering this ancient recipe. We're bridging a 2,000-year gap in knowledge, connecting the pure genius of Roman engineers with our own futuristic material science to create something totally new. So why should you care? Well, imagine bridges and roads that last for centuries instead of just a few decades. Imagine slashing the massive carbon footprint of modern concrete production, which, by the way, is responsible for about 8% of the world's CO2 emissions. This ancient Roman secret could help us build a much more sustainable and resilient future. It all comes back to this one powerful idea. The Romans weren't just some primitive builders who got lucky with a recipe. They were masters of a material science that we are only now finally catching up to. It was a technological peak that was just forgotten.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If we could forget something as game-changing as self-healing concrete for 2,000 years, what other incredible secrets from the ancient world are still out there, just buried, waiting for us to find them?